Hello and welcome to another video. Over the last couple of decades, the automation has been on rise. Humans create robots that help them to make their job easier. But these robots are only capable of doing simple, constant, repetitive tasks and are extremely expensive and could only be afforded by the big corporations. But that started to change, especially in the last 5 to 10 years. This technology is improving so fast that it's expected to replace 45% of all the jobs in the United States in the next 20 years. In other words, there is almost 50% chance that you will get fired because a robot is about to replace you. So let's take a look at how exactly that's going to happen and what should you do about it. So hit the subscribe button and the bell beside it and let's start. For decades, we have been told that machines are about to take our jobs, but that never happened because innovation kept creating new jobs. But the problem this time is that the technology is improving so fast that the machines to replace most of our job is already available. Self-driving cars, trucks, and drones will certainly replace the whole transportation industry, for example, leaving millions of people jobless in the United States alone. Not because we are about to create that technology, but rather it's already here, and all what's left is to implement it on the mass level. You might not be worried because you're a lawyer, accountant, or a doctor, and for machines to do such a complex job such as yours is very unlikely. That's exactly where you are wrong. Consider this. Chess is a complicated game that needs high level of intellect to play. I mean, if you really want to be good at it, you might need to spend years to master it. But 20 years ago, machines already defeated the best chess player in the world. Take an example of YouTube, such a big platform with over 1 billion users where 300 hours of video are uploaded every single minute needs millions of people to manage it. But thanks to artificial intelligence, it can be managed only by less than 700 people because almost everything is done by AI. As you watch YouTube, it tracks your search history, for example, and the AI will make an assumption out of billions of videos that are on YouTube about what you might be interested next, a task that can never be done by a human. In fact, all the ads that are shown in the videos are decided by the algorithm. Therefore, analyzing financial data, going through endless numbers of paperwork can be done much faster and more accurately by a machine, which completely eliminates the need for humans. Most people think that we are still far away from implementing this technology on the mass level because it's simply too expensive and humans are relatively cheap. That's where most people are wrong. Employees are the biggest cost for most companies. Salaries make up to 50% or sometimes 70% of the total expenses. And the problem with humans is that they always complain about everything. They want higher salaries, better work conditions, and minimum working hours. These might seem like reasonable demands, but remember that all that comes at a cost, and every penny that's spent on employees means less profit for the shareholders. In other words, if there is an alternative option that will be cheaper in the long run, companies are more likely to invest in that technology and slowly drag the cost down. Think of cell phones, for example. When they just came out, they were incredibly expensive, but now you can afford one for just $100. Especially when these machines don't ask for salaries, don't care about working conditions, and can work 24 hours without complaining at all. What separates us from the machines is that we have the ability to think and learn, so no matter how advanced is that technology, we humans are still capable of learning new, more complex things that robots can't. And that's the difference this time. The artificial intelligence has the ability to learn on its own and even exceed humans. You create the system, feed it with information, and it starts learning completely on its own. It's more like a newborn baby who pretty much can't do anything except crying. But it can observe everything around it, and in a matter of time, it can walk, speak, and read. Back in 2015, the DeepMind that was developed by Google had successfully taught itself how to play 29 games by playing it over and over and learning from its mistake. The fascinating part of this experience is that, since it can teach itself, it completely eliminates the need for a human. Of course, it will not replace all the jobs overnight, but over time more and more jobs will be automated. Although that all of this sounds pretty scary, but the need for humans will always be there. Just because we can't imagine future jobs now doesn't mean they are not going to be there. When ATMs replaced bank tellers, for example, banks didn't fire all of their staff but rather concentrated their efforts on more complex tasks. And that's probably what will happen again, which means that just relying alone on a university degree won't be enough to be valuable in the market anymore in the coming years. And we might need to constantly educate ourselves to be able to solve problems that machines are incapable. But there is one job that machines probably will never be able to replace, and that's entrepreneurship, at least in the foreseeable future, hopefully. And now it's your turn. What do you think? Do you think that machines will replace all our jobs or still far away from complete automation? And what would you do if a machine will take your job? And as always, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.